Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy back after a long time in the time chamber. I was just training. And now today, we're coming back with the Marvel Select Carnage figure review. Very nice figure. I got it about a year ago. Just shows how late I am on the review. Now, I don't have the box for this figure because I got it a long time ago and I got rid of it. But it is a nice box. It's a Marvel Select box. Looks real good. The big fat window packaging looks tremendous. So then moving on to the paint sculpt for this guy. As I bring him close, you can see the sculpt and the paint are really good. They work nicely together to get that Carnage look. I don't think it's specifically any certain Carnage, but more just like a artist rendition. Just any kind of Carnage that fits. I think it looks very good. 10 out of 10, I'd say, for paint and sculpt. Now, what also gets a good rating is accessories. For interchangeable heads, he comes with two. He's got this Ultimate Carnage head, which I think looks really good. I like the pearlescent white on the eyes for all the heads. This one too. It really gives it a lifelike look, like shiny eyes. The second one he has is the unmasked Cletus Cassidy one with the symbiote goop. It really looks good. And I think they got a nice look for Cletus Cassidy. Like, it fits him and it's accurate to the comic book. He is ugly though, I gotta say. Whew. Continuing on. For interchangeable hands, he has these like claw hands, you could say. They look like he's about to grab you, shank you up a couple of times. Ooh, look at that 3D action. Ooh. Sorry, Halloween was last month, I know. I missed that as well. But he comes with those hands. He has the interchangeable like sword, dagger, symbiote goop hand. I think this one looks really good. I usually have this one on him. And along with this one, I give him the hook scythe. I think this one looks really good too, with the symbiote going into the steel or metal of the blade. It's a nice transition. There isn't black paint where there's like on the vein kind of lines like there is on the rest of the body, but I still think it looks good. It fits when you put it on. Now for the other accessories, he comes with obviously the symbiote goop. He has this kind of weird looking one, medium sized. I think 4 altogether of these long tendrils, and all of them plug into holes he has around his body, on his arms, all over his back, and they look really good when you put them all together. He has a little smaller one, another medium one. I think the sculpting on these looks really good. It's nice for a tendril goop feel, and it looks real good if you get it posed up. Here's another little small one. Another long one that I bent a little bit. These don't have bendy wire in them, but if you like bend them and then hold them in that pose, they kind of stick, and I think you can get some nice poses out of that and variation in it. So now for articulation, moving all the accessories to the side, bringing the big man in. On his head, it's pretty much the same for all the heads. He looks up pretty decently and down pretty good because he's a big guy. He's definitely need to look down on some people. There's rotation and a pivot because it's just on a ball joint at the shoulder. Let me figure this out. The arm goes up a decent amount. There's rotation. Ooh. There's a rotation at the bicep. Ooh. Single jointed elbow. At the wrist, there's a swivel, and it has a hinge down and up. Coming to the torso here, he has a diaphragm joint instead of a ab crunch, which I think these look better, but they don't perform as well because he moves forward pretty decently, especially for a Marvel Select. He moves back not much, but I guess it could help in some poses. He has a waist rotation, and at the hips, his legs move forward pretty good. You get him kicking somebody or flying in the sky like a Maximum Carnage or something. They move back a little bit out to the side it's not bad. And then he has a rotation at the thigh, a cut, a double jointed knee, which works really good. And at the ankle, there's a hinge, and he actually has some ankle pivot looking good. So the articulation on this guy overall is very good for a Marvel Select. And I do believe he's one of the best Carnage figures we have, and especially at the price. Very reasonable. For scale, over here, standing him up, bringing in the dirty ruler, who knows what this thing's been through. You can see he stands a little bit at 8 inches, just a little bit above. He's a very big man, and in like scale, he doesn't fit with most Venoms or Spider-Man or anyone like that, because he's really too big. He's a big man. He doesn't really fit in scale, and they even for Marvel Select scale, they made him even bigger. He's huge for no reason. It's really unbelievable. But now for some comparisons. Bringing in some other big guys. We have the NECA SDCC Alien, the green glow-in-the-dark one. They scale pretty good if you want like a monster Carnage or some sort of Carnage from Absolute Carnage when he's really big. And then we have Jason Voorhees over here. Big man. But you can even see, in comparison, he's taller than Jason and almost as tall as the Alien. And that's not really right for a Cletus Cassidy. He's very bulky too, and Cletus Cassidy's more of a stringly dude, if you know what I'm saying. Taking these guys out of here. And moving on to the final thoughts on this bad figure right here. Well, not bad as in bad, but bad as in good. I think this is a great figure, and for the price, he's very reasonable. You get a lot of accessories, a lot of variability with the figure, and for the posability too, it's great. And the paint and sculpt it's amazing. It's a great figure. I think it's a definite recommendation if you're a Spider-Man fan, you like Carnage, or even if you just like Carnage himself, because he's cool and could make his own standalone display kind of thing. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a long time, and I'm pushing now to do videos again, and I'm going to try and get on some sort of track. So thank you guys, and I'll see you sometime eventually.